Hello, welcome back to my channel. I really did not think that I will do this video, but then again, we know that thing has been happening in the K-pop world. You know how Hype and Min Hee-jin, right? They're fighting. So instead of going down the rabbit hole of going through every articles and watching every news release and trying to find the translation, I've decided to go to Asian Entertainment and Culture channel because I think she does a very good job doing her research and provide her own very objective opinion. So I'm going to learn from her instead of me learning on my own. So without further ado, I found this video on her channel. It was 4 days ago. It's Min Hee-jin versus Hype. Objective information, no drama, and that's what we want. Okay, so let's find out what is going on. Oh Lord. Okay, let's go.
First things
Okay.
First things first, is BTS involved in this? Not directly. And when I say not directly, it's because we all know BTS is the reason Hype exists.
So before I start, I just want to say that I hope there is no negative impact on BTS or TXT or Lee Hyun, right? The original artist under Big Hit. I kind of understand the different levels, Hype and the Big Hit and Believed and Adore and all the other things, all the other sub labels, but I'm just truly hope that BTS is not impacted because that would be a shame. Or TXT or anybody under Big Hit. So let's continue. Sorry.
So whatever money they're using to train trainees or produce albums or whatever, it's all because of BTS. No matter how much they slice and dice it, whatever they did, whatever they are doing, and whatever they will be doing to eternity will be because of BTS. However, Big Hit is a private company. Bang Shi-hyuk made sure of that, and that means they do not need board of directors. They can have one if they want one, but they don't need one. So whatever decisions they make within the company will be the final one. It gives them unprecedented protection. And they answer to Hybe, but the biggest shareholder of Hybe is Bang Shi-hyuk.
Okay.
In the new
Okay.
contract of BTS, if the talks on the street is correct, then they have unprecedented protection, privilege, influence over their own company, Hybe. And when I say unprecedented, I mean on a global scale, on at least the industries that we know of.
Okay.
Okay, I will discuss that in Patreon.
Okay. Do I have to pay for her Patreon? Okay. Let me see. Publish a story. Everybody copy New Jeans. Seriously? I don't follow the other girl group, but as far as I can see, all those videos that pop on YouTube, they all look the same, right? So I don't know how do you copy a girl group when they all look the same. So I don't know. Oh, okay. I kind of heard about people. I think there are some postings saying that she indicated that Bang Si-hyuk or Ben PD copied her to make BTS. Really? Really? What did she do? What group did she create that have make them copy to make BTS? I hope I'm not going to get triggered on
now
this.
Now that is out of the way, most of the topics that I will be covering are actually questions that you guys sent to me,
okay.
And I will just answer them.
Okay, thank you.
So if you do end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that you don't miss a single video. Of course, follow me on all the social media links that you see on your screen right now, especially on Twitter and X, and in Patreon. In Patreon, I have additional content. Usually, I provide more information, and this will be there as well. Okay, let's continue with the video. My most important take in this, minors should be taken out. Both Hybe and Min Hee-jin should have thought about the minors, not just the minors within their agency, but the minors in their groups. In New Jeans, there's one 16-year-old, and in Islet, there are two 16-year-olds. And then the other girls, although they are technically adults, they're still very, very young. New Jeans Minji is just 20 years old, and then Yuna for Islet is also 20, just several months older.
Are they dragging the little girls into this?
Do you remember what the world felt like at 20? How big the world seemed and how confusing it was. Imagine that and then multiply it by thousands, and you're still probably not gonna get close to how these girls may feel, because everyone is watching them. Every mistake, every humiliation, every confusion magnified, broadcasted for posterity. It's hard enough to figure out who you are at 20 as an ordinary person. Imagine having to do that before the public, before a critical audience who actually get off putting you down.
Well, I want to say, yeah, I agree. Well, this might be controversial, right? Unfortunately, when they sign the contract when their parents, I don't know if they are able to sign a contract, they're minors, right? Until they're 18, their contract technically should not be legally binding. So I assume that the parents sign their contracts. I'm hoping that the parents are protecting them from the chaos. But then again, if you have decided to get into this kind of messy industry at such a young age, I hope subconsciously you are kind of, I know that nobody's going to be fully prepared, but kind of mentally prepared for the chaos that's definitely is going to be part of your daily life. So, it's sad that they are dragged through this, and I do feel for them that if they feel the pressure, but unfortunately this is the industry, and before you dive yourself into this industry, you gotta think of not just the glamorous side, but the very, very dark side. I feel that the dark side is actually bigger than the glamorous side, but it is what it is. Let me continue.
It can feel so very lonely.
And the mental issue.
Jin should have known that whatever she does, and Hybe should have known that whatever they do, only the girls are going to suffer and only they will get hurt. The adults can do whatever they want. They have money and lawyers and a life already lived, but these girls are just getting started. Everyone should just make sure that these girls are protected. Take them out of the equation.
I agree.
Guarantee them that.
I agree the girls should be taken out of the equation and they should not be dragged through the whole chaos, because if I understand correctly, it just Hybe versus Min Hee Jin, and I think it's all about the contract, right? I think when it goes down to the basic is the contract. When she joined Hybe, what did the contract say? What can she, what cannot do, and what is her, what has been her entitlement? I don't know, but then again, whatever the product, New Jeans should be the product, should not be in the discussion.
That whatever these adults are going to do, they will not be affected, that their careers will continue. And then they can battle it out. The adults can battle it out.
Yes.
How are the minors getting dragged? First, please excuse me. As you know, children, that's my soft spot. Personally, I always try to prioritize children, and that's exactly what she also claims to do, but that's exactly what she is not doing. She dragged New Jeans in her statement. So when she first released a statement, she said that she consulted New Jeans. Yain is 16. What does she know about legal proceedings? What does she know about the repercussions of her actions? They are effectively going against a company who shows no mercy. They don't settle in the court. They've gone against minors. They have never settled. In my opinion, they should not have been dragged. She claims to love this five like a mother. Opinion against minors. They have.
Okay, I don't like the fact that Hybe, the way that is phrased, that they have gone against minors. It's like, if the minors did something wrong, the minor did anything illegal, they should not be excused because they're minors. Okay, so in that aspect, I have no problem with Hybe going after whoever, regardless of the age, who has break the law. Now, whether they pay a price or not depends on the legal proceedings or the regulation or the laws of the land. I don't know what's going on. In the US, minors tend to have a more lenient if there's any punishment at all, but it is what it is. So, they've gone against minors. They've never settled. That made me, that sounds a bit harsh to me, because if they have gone against minors and never settled with minors because of the minor has done anything bad, that's one thing.
Have never settled.
Versus,
In my opinion, they should not have been dragged. She claims to love this five like a mother. A mother will never do this. The first instinct is to make sure that they are 7 galaxies away from possible danger. She should be fighting her battle alone and not dragged.
It's her against Hyde, but it's nothing to do with New Jeans.
The 5 girls, even if they are willing to get dragged. Next, if this gets messier, the only ones that will suffer will be New Jeans. Hyde can take the losses. Mini Jin will
She
have
can
her
find a new
monthly
job.
salary. New Jeans will not get paid unless they earn. There is very little chance that Hyde will not make
I'm sorry I keep pausing, but what are the parents doing? What are the parents doing?
sure that the next comeback will happen. But if it gets messier, yes, that can happen. Next, she insulted 5 other young girls. 2 of them are minors.
She did?
Min Jin made a statement publicly that she said B Lift Lab actually copied her concept of New Jeans to I'll It. Let's take the veracity of her statement aside. Let's just say she's right. You just called 5 girls copycats. And this is this 5 girls are already going through so much. They've been accused of this and that. They've been criticized and whatever. They've been hated on. And then here is a senior in their own company calling them.
Not only a senior, an executive. She is an executive, a senior executive. Not professional at all, okay, in my opinion. And why are you calling the girls? You should call out whoever the creative producer of the girls instead of that girl.
Them copycats. What a classy act. Okay, I'm usually very calm.
I'm feeling.
And you know that.
I know you're very calm. You're usually very calm. I'm never calm, so I'm feeling triggered. Okay.
It's just that I feel like when it comes to children, they're always being used as pawns by adults. Adults can do whatever it is that they want. I don't care about Hybe or Adore or Minhee Jin. They can do whatever it is that they want. They're adults. It's just that these young women, especially the minors, should be left alone to pursue their dreams in peace. Instead, they're getting dragged into it. It's so unfair for these children. We can do better as a society, right? That's what I believe. Okay, let's try to look at it and from her point of view, from Minhee Jin's point of view, so that we can be fair. First, the timeline. April 22, Naver published an article stating that Adore was being audited by Hybe.
Okay.
About an hour later, Yonhap confirmed that Hybe confirmed that they audited Adore, and it was because there was takeover attempts. They were trying to take over.
So now another thing I want to say is this article, right? Whoever wrote this article, the reporter, why do they say the New Jeans agency? Why can't they just say Adore? Why do they have to mention the name of the group instead of just call the company? Why can't they just say that the Adore attempt to become independent? And besides, it's not Hybe, okay? What the heck is going on here? It's Hybe. So, yeah. Anyway.
For the management of Adore. And an employee, former employee of Hybe, who moved into Adore is actually involved. April 22, so same day, around 8 o'clock, Minhee Jin released her first statement, and that's where she said she consulted the New Jeans members about it. and she said that it was because this conflict is because Belift copied her New Jeans concept with I'll It. And
I
then
kind of remember that when BTS first debuted, everybody accused them as copycats because they said they BTS copied the school concept, copy this, copy here, copy that, and now she's doing the same thing. Come on, it's concept. Concept can be very vague. Okay, just because you have this concept doesn't mean that someone does not have the concept. And then what concept do you have that is so uniquely yours that you claim other people copy you? I knew that she came from SM. Now I want to see 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when people accused BTS of copying. Were they copying SM groups? Is that a very routine thing for the SM people to do? I know I should not be saying this because it's nothing to do with the SM, but I can't help myself. So it's a trend. But anyway, let's continue. Whew.
And the next day, April 23, 6 a.m. Korea time, she granted an interview where she explained and flatly denied that she is trying to take over Adore. Let's look at it from her point of view. As I've said, I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. She flat out denied ever planning a takeover. She denied raising funds or consulting with anybody that would help her take over Adore. She said that she only lodged an internal complaint about Belift copying her concept of New Jeans with I'll It. She said that Belift actually admitted it and apologized.
I'm not going to read everything here. I'm just going to listen to her talk, okay? Because that'll be too long of a video for me to read everything because I'm a slow reader.
But didn't do anything about it. The next thing she knew, Hybe was launching an audit on her company, Adore. But before the result came out,
they pay for your
the
company.
Audit result, she was already asked to resign. So she didn't know what to do. Her only recourse was to go to the media to defend herself because
Really?
it leaked. The audit leaked. So you have to put yourself in her position. You're battling a billion-dollar company, basically. What do you do when you're all alone? She felt that
You
was
find
her
attorney.
only course of action. Shooting her shot. Believe it or not, I don't take it against her for going to the media. It's a power move. She's trying to get sympathy from the market, especially in Korean society. That's very important. And she's getting some. So she is actually achieving her objective. You can't blame someone for shooting their shot. It's a power play, a tactical move. She wouldn't have gotten to where she is right now if she didn't know how to play politics, and she's playing it well. And this is nothing new. A lot of people have done this before, and many of them actually succeeded. This is her hustle, and I don't blame her for it. The only issue is that she is involving children. I find it a little petty, just a little. Complaining about Belift copying your New Jeans concept is something I would expect of a crazy fan from Twitter or a crazy writer from Koreaboo, but not from a CEO. I remember watching Project Runway, and there is this one designer who was getting accused of copying somebody else's ideas. What would happen is in episode 1, a designer would do halter top, for example, and then in the next episode, he would do a halter top, and then he would win because he would do it so well. And when the judges heard of it, their unanimous reaction is that, did you guys invent halter tops? Because if you didn't, then anybody can use it. And even if you actually invented a style or a concept and somebody else does it better, it's not their fault. People shouldn't be expected to avoid copying what you did or avoid doing the same thing that you did just so you wouldn't be offended or your strategy wouldn't get messed up. It's your responsibility to make sure that you do what you do so well that others who try to copy it will pale in comparison. BTS
Totally
is a good
agree.
example. They get copied all the time.
They get copied all the time, but they're still the best. And people accuse them of copying others. But if indeed they copy others, but it's a concept, okay? Concept is a concept. If they happen to do the same concept as the other and they do it better, tough. Go get a life, okay?
They don't bark at other groups for it. This is a good example. They get copied all the time. They don't bark at other groups for copying their concepts or their executions. They were the ones who popularized the use of creating a narrative across eras. You don't hear them bark at all these other groups that are doing the same thing now. What they did was reinvent themselves. They would refine it. They would do something new so that when others are copying them, they've already moved on to the next concept. We can go farther back. Girls' Generation is the first girl next door girl group. They didn't complain about Twice or even New Jeans. Block B has the same concept as Big Bang. You don't hear YG or Big Bang members complain about it. Brown Eyed Girls is the first vocal group. They didn't complain about Mamamoo or even Sistar.
Right?
They do, you're just supposed to do what you are doing. You make sure that you do what you do so well, nobody else can copy it.
Okay, did she file what do you call that thing? A copyright claim? Is that copyright or whatever? Did you trademark? Did she file a trademark on her concept and make it so specific that people cannot do the same thing? If you did not, then shut the F up, okay?
It's Hybe favoring B Lift Lab.
Oh my god, I am so pissed.
It's Hybe favoring B Lift Lab. Hybe is a for-profit business. They will take care of assets that will make the money. That we know for sure.
They're not non-profit.
I'll It and New Jeans are both making money for them, so it's natural for them to want to take care of both assets. I don't see why they would want to sabotage one or the other, but I guess anything is possible. Maybe there's an agenda right there that we don't see, but I really don't see it. I'm not an insider, so.
See, the thing is, like she said, it's a for-profit corporation, right? New Jeans does well, Eileen does well, then everybody's happy. They got more money coming in. So what if they're similar? There's gonna be K-pop. This particular idol business is very sensitive. It's very subjective. Just like me, right? I look at BTS. I look at 17. They're both great groups, right? But I gravitate towards BTS maybe because I like how they look, or I just like their faces, or just like them. It does not make 17 any less than BTS, but for me, I gravitate to BTS more. Just like what New Jeans and Islet. They're a similar group, but some audience will be gravitating towards New Jeans more than the other. So if I'm Hype, put myself in Hype shoes, I would like to capture all the audience, even though I have two similar girl group. But if half an audience likes New Jeans more, now the other half, I like Islet instead of going to someone else, right? So I don't get it.
From an outsider's point of view, I don't see why. Why can't they fire her? They can. However, there are several things to consider.
It depends on the contract,
Most of the time,
right?
firing a high-ranking officer in a company, especially if it is a CEO, would entitle the fired employee millions of dollars in severance pay. So if they resign, usually, if there is a severance pay, it's usually lower. So that's probably why they want her to resign. Another thing to consider is that the CEO actually reports to the board of directors. So the board can actually fire her. But if the board favors her, then they can't fire her. So they have to go to court if that happens.
Okay.
So they can, it's just that there are certain things that are put in place to also protect employees like her.
Okay.
But why is Hybe using New Jeans to promote I'll It? I think this is one of the things that puzzled me because BTS's name was used to promote New Jeans and just about any other group under Hybe.
Yeah. I think I don't want to sound petty or bitter, but without BTS, without linkage BTS, the other group just other group. But once you label BTS, BTS sister group, BTS younger brother, younger sister, it creates interest. So,
They never had problems with it. She never had problems with it. She never acknowledged BTS, never thanked BTS. So now I think she should have known that whatever tactic she used to promote her group will also be used by others to promote their groups.
And they're under the same holding company.
It's just marketing.
Yeah.
What private information of Hybe artists did she leak? This is not part of what Hybe said. Hybe said that they were auditing her because there were speculations of her trying to take over
Uh-huh.
Adore. But it was the media, journalists who claimed that part of her strategy is to leak information about Hybe artists and trainees. And fans are the ones that are speculating that many of the negative conversations around Isle It, Lesser of Him, TXT, BTS were initiated by Min Hee Jin. I'm not going to detail what those allegations are because that's just what they are as of the moment,
Okay.
speculations. They have no grounds as of the moment. I don't want to even entertain the thought of it being true because I might puke. It's just, if again, if the adults want to fight it out, go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm gonna grab some popcorn and watch you. But once you drag innocent children, minors, or young men and women, it's just beyond disgusting. Allegations of abuse. There is a
Abuse?
website in Korea, I think it's called Blind, where employees of a company can any company can actually register. So you need to use your employee email address, but you remain anonymous. And in there you can talk about your company. And apparently there were talks in there. There were employees of SM talking about how abusive she is, but nothing really came out of it because that's what it is. They were talks. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
was proven. And so in her statement, when she released a statement about Hybe, Hybe's audit, she didn't really address allegations of abuse, probably because Hybe didn't say it. All they talked about was the supposed
Uh-huh. Take
takeover of
over.
Adore. So that again, that is unproven. Those are just talks. No one has any proof as of the moment.
Okay. So it's just a lot of
The other thing
speculation
that
and
turned me off
rumors.
a little is the amount of attention she was getting for herself. When you're a kingmaker, in her case, a queen maker, your number one job is to make sure that all the attention, all the credits go to the kings, in her case, the queens.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Bang Shiuk from the get go made sure that everyone knows BTS has total creative control
Yes.
over their own music videos,
He was
creatives,
always
careers.
behind the
So
scene.
now everyone knows that BTS has control, that whatever BTS has achieved, it's because of BTS.
Yes.
Bang Shiuk made sure everyone knows that from the very beginning. Even Yang Suk, for all of his faults, there were very few times when he talked about his contribution to the career of 21 and Blackpink. Most of the time, he would just let the girls talk about their career.
Okay.
She's a little different. There was a show, I think the show of Yoo Jae Suk, and several other shows where the girls, New Jeans, appeared for like 10 minutes and then they did one or two songs and then the rest it was her interview. So I felt like she's a little different as for a queen maker. But maybe, there are people like that. They just want to be able to be the face. They want to become the face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. It's just a little different for me. I feel like, especially in K-pop, it's more important that the creative contributions of the groups actually get highlighted. The creative contributions get highlighted more than anything else
Yes.
because they are constantly being called puppets and manufacturers. So you want to help in shaping the creative image of your group. But maybe she's different.
So I don't know New Jeans much. Okay. The way that Min Hee, Min Hee Jin portrays is kind of like she did it all. The girls pretty much just performers. Most likely is not true because I always heard about how talented those girls are. Now that I have not followed them, I think I heard one of their song last year, like "Boy" or something. My little boy, I forgot what that. It's just not my style. So after that song, I just kind of like not my style. So I don't listen to New Jeans. But I'm sure that they are very popular for the younger generation because they are pretty cute little girls, right? So if they are contributing to their own music, their artistry, then they should be credited for those. If that is the case and the Min Hee Jin is all about her, there's a pattern, there's a trend.
Okay, that was a lot. Many of those are answers to your questions. I hope I provided value.
Thank you.
Just as a final note, I really don't care about Min Hee Jin and Hybe. They can take their battle in any field that they want.
Yeah,
They
find it
are
out.
adults, they have money. But I'm interested from a corporate perspective just because I like watching mind games, power plays. But the girls should be out of it. Min Jin, as the second mother of this five, should keep the five girls far from this. Her first move should have been that. Even if the five girls are begging, if she really is looking at them like her daughter, she would keep them away from this battle. She would just make sure that the girls will forever be allowed to pursue their dreams in peace. And even I'll It girls, for her to call them copycats. So she said that she tried to lodge an internal complaint, but then she went public with her complaint. So effectively, she just called the five girls copycats. That hurts from somebody who is supposed to be a prominent figure in the company that they work for.
Yes.
I think she should have just said that she lodged a complaint, but she can't talk about it because minors are involved. Now that's taking a high road, and that's what a CEO should have done. It's just, but then she said it in public, so you know. So I hope it ends. Just for the sake of the five girls, for my sake and for my entertainment, they can drag on for as long as they want, for as long as they can isolate the girls from it. Okay, if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comment section below, or keep on doing what you're doing. Just DM me. You can also get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And please like this video, follow, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now, I work, okay. I work in the very highly regulated industry. So everything is regulated and everything is bound by the rules. And I know in the US, the HR regulations are very tight. Well, mainly very tight. So everything there's a contract. For example, when I was hired, I have to sign a lot of paperwork. And so I know what I can, what cannot do. And our employment here is pretty much at will. So which means that I can go anytime I want and they can fire me anytime they want. It's just how it is, okay? And the way that I see, okay, I don't know the detail of the takeover. I don't know what's going on there. But as a company, they can order you anytime they want. That's just how it is. You know, in my prior employment life, in my other roles, I went on other people unannounced because we could, okay? They are scheduled order, they are unannounced order, depends on what we see, and then because it's just how it is. But then again, I mentioned I work in a very highly regulated industry, so we might have higher power. So the company can audit their subsidiary. The company can audit their subsidiary anytime they want, and their subsidiary might be a separate, legally separate entity, but at the end it's still part of the whole holding company. So you should still bound by their rules. And I don't know what's the contract initially when she joined Hype or when Adore was formed, but I'm sure there's a contract somewhere, some kind of legal paperwork that indicate what are her entitlements as a CEO of Adore and what can she do or not do. And that's the legal part, the corporate part, right? As a human being, well, not even human being, even, okay, just as a, and also as a CEO, as a professional, there are certain things that you should or should not do. I remember, like I said, I work in a very highly regulated industry. So whenever something happens, when we need to refer something, we do not mention names. We do not mention whatever. We only mention job titles because it's very sensitive. It's HR. It's a very sensitive thing. and we do not talk to the media. And that is part of our contract. I think when I was hired, whenever I joined the company, regardless of which company in the same industry, there's always something called the code of ethic, okay, that we have to sign. I don't know if they have it in Korea, but every time I get hired with a new employer, and even with the current employer on the annual basis, we need to sign a code of ethic. Guess that's not a thing in Korea. I don't know why it is. But then again, on the flip side, if you have watching K-drama, you know that they tend to be a lot of bullying seen in the working environment. I don't know whether it's true or not. So if it's a norm to be a bully, if you're a higher ranking officer in a corporation, where you can bully your subordinate at will anytime you want, I feel that's what she's doing. Maybe she feels like she's bullied by hype, then she's bullying other people by calling people copycats. I don't know. But at the end of the whole thing, it's just an ugly fight between Min Hee-jin and Hype, and I agree with Asian entertainment and culture. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I should know her name, but I agree with her that they should leave the minor out of it. They should leave the artists out of it. Even if the artists are fully adult like BTS, they're all adults. Leave them out of it. It's a legal fight between those two, so leave the artists out of it. I don't know what's going on. But that's it for today. I'm gonna see what else she come up with, and I might not react to all her videos on camera because you don't want to see me be upset all the time, right? So until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.